Hey guys, Maggie here with Grassroots Dog Training. I'm going to be sharing with you a very special interview that I had the opportunity to do with Carol from Healing Touch for Animals. Just organically happened to be in the area, and I reached out to her, and she was gracious enough to give me 15 minutes or so of her time yesterday, and I'm very excited to share this interview with you guys. I think it's loaded with a lot of great information. What I would like for you guys to do is check out the interview and go back through your wellness plan that potentially you've already done through Grassroots Dog Training, and remember that the therapeutic or the stress relieving strategies, that's the area where Healing Touch for Animals belongs, is in that category. Now, I didn't mention it specifically. I talk more about T-Touch because that's what I'm more familiar with, but Carol did give me a really good piece of information and insight, and that is Healing Touch for Animals works more with the chakras of an individual, where T-Touch works more with the meridians and the meridian systems with individuals. So I thought this was very interesting information, but nonetheless, it's a very powerful technique. I encourage those of you that feel a little bit of gravitational pull towards this technique to please check them out. You can also go to their website to find a local practitioner, so you don't necessarily have to go through the classes. You can just go and seek out the professional that's going to help you on an individual level. Without further ado, here is the amazing interview with Carol from Healing Touch for Animals. I'm Maggie, by the way. Carol, thank you so much.
You.
So the purpose of the interview is to get an idea of who you are, what Healing Touch for Animals is, and I think the big thing for my audience as well as your audience that doesn't know about you yet is how can Healing Touch for Animals be helpful for the everyday dog and owner that is not aware of Healing Touch.
Healing Touch for Animals is an energy therapy that is helps to support the body to self-heal. And when we work with that, we create relaxation. So it's really a relaxation modality. We have several techniques that help to support that. But through relaxation, we have an actual physical response to the body.
Okay.
And so when we're in relaxation, it creates endorphins that are released from the brain. So
like serotonin,
yeah,
things like that. Okay.
dopamines, those kinds of things that help to support more relaxation within the whole body. So it helps the muscles to let go, so those tight muscles that we have open up, and the blood flow then comes in through and around the muscle tissues.
Oh, wow.
Allows more oxygenation of the body, because when we are ischemic or our muscles are tight, it's because we don't have enough oxygen going through. So the blood flow brings in the oxygen, and then the rest of the body support system kicks into play. So the hormones are regulated, the enzymes are stimulated to help with digestion and absorption of nutrients within the body. The body releases toxicity, which also causes illness.
Oh,
And then
interesting.
it allows us to have a playing field for the new cell growth to come in.
The healthy
and to
stuff.
support the body.
Yeah.
Right. But what it mostly does is it supports the immune system, which regulates all healing. And
That's
what I love is that right now, science is looking at how does the immune system support the physical body? How does the immune system support healing? And how can we work with the immune system to bring in all that's needed for health and well-being?
That's
So,
amazing.
Yeah, it's really
That's so
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
This is
So
great.
It's part of what we teach, and we have a little chart even that helps to visually see that.
I'm curious, how did you start to uncover all of this? What is your background that led you to this discovery?
No, it's a long time ago. I was a vet tech for 13 years. I was like a nurse practitioner for my veterinarian. We had a central hospital where the major cases would go to the hospital, and then they'd see his everyday cases at his satellite clinic. And so there was a large group of people in Denver, in the Denver area.
Okay, that's where you're based out of, correct? Denver?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as we worked with that, I was going back and forth from the clinic to the hospital, working with just his patients, and then coming back to the office and helping there. And so what I had this veterinary technician background, and then I retired when I had my children, and I got into massage therapy and different kind of alternative things that I was exploring. And I had one of my classes was Healing Touch, which was for people. And
Oh, so it started with people.
Correct.
Even though your background is still with pets.
Correct. Yeah.
Awesome.
So then I brought my awareness of the energy system for people and how that helped with massage therapy. And the founder of the Healing Touch program was Janet Minkin, and she was my teacher at the massage school.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah. And so she found out that I was a vet tech, and as I progressed in her program and became one of the instructors for the Healing Touch program, I had that background as a vet tech, and so she would send me all the questions about animals and how we can use our work that we do on people with the animals.
That's fascinating. And, that brings to the question to my mind, the difference between working with a person that can vocalize what's going on with them, what's making them uncomfortable, what's ailing them, where animals can't necessarily come out and blatantly tell us what's going on.
Right.
What do you feel like the difference is between, since you have experience working with people versus dogs, for example?
Well, what I know is that our animals are bigger than we are. Even if they're small little guys, we all have energy outside of our physical body. So the metaphysical term is an energy, an aura. We call it the energy field.
Yeah. Okay.
And NIH recognizes that as a part of who we are, is the energy system within and outside of our body.
Okay.
And so the animals actually have a 10 times greater energy system that produces their awareness outside of them. It's what is created their instinct and their understanding of everything around them, their surroundings, their environment. And we are a lot closer. And our system is also very contained and structured in comparison to theirs, having to be in a wild environment. And so their energy awareness is much greater than what ours would be.
Wow, that's fascinating. That's really interesting stuff. Yeah. Well, and that makes me think of a kind of my third question too, in terms of, because it sounds like this is something that would be beneficial for every dog out there. It's not like, oh, would this be a good fit for my dog?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
No matter what you're dealing with, yes. Right? Well, and let's talk about that just a little bit, because I feel like what you're describing is you're working with the natural energy field of an animal that is already larger than ours as individuals.
Correct.
And to me, as an average dog owner, let's say, I might translate that to think that our dogs are just more natural animals, natural beings. So surely there must be some issues with us trying to put them into the box of this culture and under our expectations, right?
Yeah.
So how do you feel like something like Healing Touch for Animals integrates and is effective or helpful for a dog struggling in our culture that we are exposing them to that is not natural?
Well, so like our wild guys, are you talking
Yeah,
about, or
reactive,
our feral animals?
aggressive, even our owners that have dogs with problem dogs that have issues that they're trying to resolve just through training.
Well, what I found with that is, first of all, we have an amazing technique called bridging, and it works in multifaceted areas of the body, of the mind, of their spirit and their instinctual presence. And we use it for many different ways, so a full body balancing technique, but we also use it for competitions, for their focus for that. But to address your question, we have this technique that has a script behind it that identifies the animal's job and how they need to be in your household.
Ah, interesting.
And how that energy needs to be supported in all that they do around the family unit. And when you add the balance that we create with the energy system and the direction that you're asking that animal to engage with as part of the family, they make changes.
Isn't
It
that
is
incredible?
huge, yeah. And so it's how does that work and how does it benefit the animal? It helps them to balance, first of all, their energy system, and then it helps to have them integrate with what your desire is as their owner and caregiver. So it's amazing how
It is. Well, and it's exciting for me. Part of my kind of alternative viewpoint on dogs, because I'm a dog trainer. And although I almost cringe sometimes at that term, because I am of the belief that so many people come to dog trainers because they have a problem. Their dog's struggling with something. And I think something like what you're offering can help rebalance dogs. It can help create that emotional security and that energy that you need to feel happy and live a good life with your dog. It's not necessarily attainable just through training. So a lot of folks that I want to get involved with something like this, it's because maybe the training piece hasn't worked and they're missing this crucial piece of actually helping the dog themselves.
Yes.
Right.
So it's easy, it's simple. Anyone who has the desire to do this work can.
Okay.
And we teach intention, we teach grounding, we teach the possibilities of change. And
I like that.
what it works with is that congruency that brings a family unit together, including the animals that engage with the people. And healing takes place on a lot of levels, not just with the animal or with the person that you're working with, but it's on all levels as a family unit.
Oh, how fascinating. I just had this conversation a few days ago with Larry Green. He's a kinesthesiologist for
Yes,
animals. And we talked about how, we can have issues that are going on within ourselves that translates to the dog or vice versa. And something like this can actually be very healing and, in that gray area, so to speak.
And I see that as a mirror. So I'm looking at my mirror because my dog is acting out. Well, what's wrong? What's going on within me internally that's creating this stress for that animal, or vice versa.
So sometimes we have to heal ourselves first, right? In order to,
It's
we
all
have to heal
about-
everybody.
Yeah, it's all about self-healing. Animals that are adopted from a rescue situation, they have probably a ton of stress that they come into a family, and we're able, through balance and through the integrity of our focus to help them, they're able to change.
I'd love for you to share with everybody how to get in contact with your organization, how to look for more information, what kind of opportunities are available for folks that are interested in learning more.
Healing Touch for Animals is a healing modality that is taught worldwide, and we actually have a certification process, and we work with 4 levels of our work that leads to certification. And so there are classes that are offered all over the United States, in Canada, in the Netherlands, and also in Germany. So we're an international certification program. And the way that you get a hold of us is we are Colorado based, so out of the Denver area, and our website is www.healingtouchforanimals.com.
Wonderful.
So,
thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
And just to summarize for you guys, I don't care where you're coming from or who your dog is, you are going to benefit from Healing Touch for Animals, I think is the easiest way of putting it.
Yes, thank you
Wonderful.
so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Yes.
I really do.